हरे कृष्ण। ओम अज्ञान तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। हरे कृष्ण. So we'll continue our discussion. Krishna is entering into Dwaraka. He blowed his conch. All the devotees in Dwaraka, they became ecstatic, and as soon as they see the Lord, they all come running to receive him. This is the soul's attraction to Lord, like a magnet. Iron files are attracted to magnets. So Krishna is all attractive. Now, what is important is how we manage our emotions. In this world, we are all getting affected by emotions. If you don't get affected, you will be impersonalist. But we should have emotions, but it should be rightly directed. And here we are seeing how these emotions are rightly directed towards Krishna. And it's actually a practice. People need to means devotees need to learn how to practice these emotions. So here we are seeing that they're able to. And how it happens is, when we hear about Krishna, Jiva Goswami says, I was not so much impressed when I uh, heard about Krishna's devotees. That also didn't much. But I mean, I heard about devotees' love for Krishna, that touched my heart. This should what is important for us to touch, that how much they love Krishna. And maybe one day we also get desire. I also want to have that love for Krishna. There is some person called Krishna and says he's very beautiful, he's having all good qualities, he's very compassionate, and then maybe I should also have some relation with him. This desire, if somebody gets, is very fortunate. What happens is that faith is lacking. So yesterday we were discussing. I'll just share few things today also. Uh, how what are different levels of faith and other things. So yeah, this we were discussing yesterday. I will just revise and then we'll come to the purpose. So there is Samajik Shraddha we discussed. Oh, there is Balotpad Shraddha that we'll know. So path of bhakti, pure bhakti needs faith, whereas path of ordinary bhakti don't need faith. We discussed how Ajamila without faith also you went to. And then Shraddha starts how when we develop respect for devotees, reverence for devotees, when we start trusting them and we start feeling more we have faith, we start feeling more dependence on Vaishnavas. And then we discussed how the Shraddha means clean state of mind. This is what is the definition, Shraddha. And what is that making us not clean? The contaminations. What are the contaminations? The doubts. The doubts prevent. Now it says, okay, Krishna says he will protect and you not worry, just sit and chant. Not possible for us because we don't have that much faith. We need to develop that faith on Krishna, which is very, very essential for all of us. And we have to, if we are not getting doubts, means we are not using buddhi. That is the point. We should constantly, when you start working on what Krishna is telling, applying, then we constantly start getting doubts. Not doubts, we want to understand that subject more clearly. That's then if you understand more clearly, for us to practice. Why? Because I told faith means it is power, it gives power. For us to more enthusiastically practice utsaha, nisha, dhairya, this is all actually proportionate to faith. We have it, then we will be more enthusiastic. More enthusiastically we can chant, more attentively we can chant, more we can feel the presence of Krishna in our life. So the doubts goes away and we get enlightened. That is why we need this. That's why we need to know where my faith is. So then there is faith in ignorance, faith in passion, faith in goodness. We also have some mixture of it, but ours is transcendental faith, that is all there. Some mixture in the sense, of course this will all go away, we need not worry about all these things, but just to know what type of faith people have around. That's why we are trying to discuss. We all have transcendental faith only, don't worry, I'll tell what it is. So of course this is told in Bhagavad Gita by Krishna. Faith in ignorance basically means, this type of faith is for the people who who has faith in destructive habits. This is the problem for them. So they have faith, but it is in sense gratification or in any negative things, any negative aspects, people, they they have sinful activities and they engage in all the sinful activities, and they are sure that they'll be happy if they eat meat, they do this, they go for movies, they go for, they're in front of their TV in the house, and then they're with their parties and all this faith is tamoguna faith. They know if I go to party I'll be very happy, and even though, and then they go to party and then they see that other people are wearing big jewelry, big dress, big cars, big suit, and they come home miserable. Why I don't have it? They happily increase their more desires income, like so. And this is not Sanatan faith, this is satanic faith. This is all demonic faith. And then the next faith is Rajoguna. Rajoguna faith is faith in oneself. I will do it. I have faith in my mind, I have faith in my intelligence, I have faith in my power, and all these things. So they feel, yeah, if I do things rightly I'll be successful, and they have faith in some. And this all things, no, faith in some karmic activities also, this puja, that puja, this vrata, that this, all these yajnas and all this, all rajasic faith. You do it and get it, means you basically you want to get everything for ourselves. So this is rajic. And then tamasic faith, sorry, sattvic faith is faith in purification, faith in various purificatory practices. They think, okay, if I fast long I'll be immortal, but problem is you fast long will die also. Too long, too long fast is also dangerous. And then Shatri said there is some spiritual practices also. They do yoga, and then they have some faith in some pranayama, this, that, and they were told to stand on head so that then they feel very happy that I am standing on my head, and legs up and head down. And so all these books they have. So this is, they feel it's very cool that, I don't know, I'm doing all these activities. So they have faith. Now, what is faith? Transcendental faith in service of Krishna. Finish. So simple. And we all have it. And even Prasadam also, we have faith. So that is not problem. That is also transcendental faith. And that just by offering some patram pushpam phalam toyam, Krishna is happy. So this type of faith is what is transcendental faith. Now, uh, now there are two types of faith. Swabhavik faith, Shastra Shraddha, or Balotpadita. And you can judge yourself which state you are. I will not tell. But uh, that is where it affects sometimes. So we can, first we will hear, then you can see. Now, because faith is the source of motivation. That's why we need to analyze these two categories. And it is driven by different mixed motives. And though, even though the both categories of transcendental, see, transcendental faith means if I serve Krishna I'll be happy. So if I serve Krishna I'll be happy, as two categories. One is Balotpadita, one is Swabhaviki. Now we all know, but whether my faith is Balotpadita that I'll serve Krishna or happy, or Swabhaviki that I serve. So this is a very important understanding. Now we are uh, there is natural faith, because this faith reflects in one's nature. This is Swabhaviki. It is not imposed on it. Faith that is based on Shastras, the natural, it is a response or the reflection of our spiritual nature. And it comes, this especially this Shastra Shraddha, comes from hearing. Hearing in two ways. One is hearing Shastra, and you are logically trying to understand what is Shastra. And another is when we hear the holy name. Somebody is chanting the holy name, he will develop Shastra, the Swabhavik Shraddha. That is actually develop when a person hears Shastra. And not only just, okay, how to develop it is more important. I will just, I wanted to tell this point. How can we develop this Shastra Shraddha is, we have bullet point. So first is we have to take responsibility. So this is what is very important. If this is not there, na, we cannot get on. No chance. And this is where people make mistake. They think, everything is nice, fine. No, no, not fine. Because uh, why it is not fine, we have to take responsibility of our life first. Then only we'll be able to do something very good. Without taking responsibility, that means we cannot blame anyone for our situation. That is means responsible. No blame game because of government, because of wife, because of husband. Not possible. No, not because of your temple authority or your counselor or your mother, father. No, we are responsible for whatever situation we are. When we take responsibility, then we take responsibility of studying Shastra also, trying to understand. This person said Krishna is God. This person is telling, every ISKCON people are telling. Is it so? Let me also read what Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. Let me understand on my own. On my own means we are reading the Shastra only, but trying to understand if personally ourselves and trying to get convinced about it. Then that is actually where Shastra Shastra comes. I say I read Bhagavad Gita 2, 3 times, 4 times, we can say. But in that also, no, there is a difference. Even if we are reading, we have to understand logical sequence what Bhagavad Gita is telling. We should have our own clarity with what Bhagavad Gita is telling. That should come naturally. And and another thing is by hearing the holy name. So just tell two more points and then we'll come back to our purpose. I will not take much time because I felt this is a very important discussion. And then Swabhava, or deep internal faith of the soul. So, and when we hear the sound of the scriptures and remember about it and follow precisely the sound of the scriptures in life, then this sound of scriptures will ultimately, by all means, bring us to Vrindavan. That's all. So, now, uh, the faith is infallibly of the fundamental teachings of the scriptures that we discuss, and it is concerning the nature of soul, nature of individual soul, and Supreme Lord, Maya, and their relationship. Now, now here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also gives a famous definition: Shraddha Shabde Vishwasato hai Sudha Nishchay. So, this is that. This is a very important understanding. This shloka, what is, means Vishwasa kohe Sudhada Nishchay, and we should have unwavering trust in practicing bhakti. Krishna bhakti kaile sarva karma kritahaya. Just by practicing Krishna bhakti, one will get everything. This is what is called Shraddha, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives. And Shraddha also means trust in faith in scriptures. Now, this is the last point. So, Shraddha is, we have discussed, it's faith in scriptures. Where when British Indologists they came, no, their main thing what happened is they understood that people in India they have faith on Shastra. We cannot do anything as long as they continue to have faith in Shastras. So that is the time they decided to remove the faith of Indians on Shastra, and they were quite successful because people who are living, they say I cannot do this wrong thing because Shastra is telling I cannot do it. That's why they are not doing any wrong thing. But once you remove the faith on Shastra, then on what basis you will live? Our basis of living is because I am happy, I will do it. Previously, it is Shastra, it is telling, and people say, no, no, Shastra is telling. But I don't know faith on Shastra only. Anybody you ask why do, just do it because I like it. That's all. You are on a mental, emotional state. And now, what is the sign of true faith? If I have truly faith, what is the sign? Sign is absorption. So absorption is the sign of true faith. So this is, and faith becomes true when it allows me to fully focus and everything it sees. Like where I have faith in chanting. No problem. Sit peacefully, chant. And like we have example of Maharaj Parikshit. He was dying soon, and then but he did not listen to anything here there. He just listened Bhagavatam focused. He was completely absorbed. He has complete faith. And faith means understanding that this is the most important thing, and what is happening now, most important thing. So what we are discussing, what we are sitting now, like I am hearing this Bhagavatam, I am speaking. I should not think, okay, I think I have something more important to do. Just somehow finish this. I'm waiting for time to complete, and once time is complete, then that's all good enough. No, this is the most important thing for me personally, because if I speak about Krishna, I'll get purified. I don't need anything in the world now. I just need this only. So this is then we get absorption. Because I have faith in what I am doing, then I can get absorbed in what I am doing. That is very important. And mind works in this way. So mm, but if absorption, if mind, generally what happens to mind is whatever I am doing, I think something else is more important than this. So then that problem comes, especially when we are chanting these happens. And then the meaning of Shraddha means faith in this state. So this state of consciousness, uh, so this is and yeah. So one more thing else. Shraddha must be so intensive that everything else would stop. Everything, whatever I am worrying, should stop. Nothing should bother me. And then, even if there are desires, also we say, wait a minute, let me complete this job first. So, right? Okay. So, and you can add some more stories and examples. That is your homework. So now we'll just come back to our purpose. I'll try to discuss some more points in after reading some of the purpose. So, oh. So the citizen said, "O Lord, you are worshipped by all demigods like Brahma, the four sanas, and even the King of Heaven. You are the ultimate rest for those who are really aspiring to achieve the highest benefit of life. You are the supreme transcendental Lord, and inevitable time cannot exert its influence upon you. What is important, na, Bhagavatam, it clears many misunderstandings about the absolute truth for us. We all have these misunderstandings. We discussed, if you remember, 8 types of misunderstandings. Whether the Lord exists or not, then there is Nirakara, Nirguna, and Kliba, Purusha, all these things. Purusha with energies, without energies. And then there is Mithuna, Lord with his energies, and the counterpart Lakshmi Devi. And then last one comes is where we have Parakya. So there are different understand. Now here, when we hear these prayers and their explanations, slowly our misunderstandings about this absolute truth within our heart, they will disappear. So that is the reason we need to very attentively and carefully try to understand. We may look at many places it is said, you are worshipped by Brahma, Shiva, you are worshipped by Indra, you are worshipped by all the sages. This word you hear many times. Why this is repeated? For us also we say, my dear Lord, you are worshipped by so many people, and I am also worshipping, you are so great. In our prayers also we can add sometimes. This is what happens. And then we have read this purport. So here, this is the first prayer. There's, my dear Lord, you are such a great person, you are all worshipped by everyone. So Lord says, yes, I am great. So then he says, uh, भवायनस्त्वं भव विश्वभावना त्वमेव मातः सुहृत्पतिः पिता त्वं सद्गुरुं नः परमं च दैवतं यस्यानुगत्या कृतनो बभूविमा. He says, so, O Creator of the universe, you are our mother, well-wisher, Lord, Father, spiritual master, and worshipful deity. By following in your footsteps, you have become successful, and we have become successful in every respect. We pray, therefore, that you continue to bless us with your mercy. This also will be read yesterday. So here now they are telling, you are everything for us. So and this is actually what we all need. So he says, "Oh, it is our good luck. We have come that we have come again today under your protection by your presence. Although your lordship is rarely visited even by the denizens of heaven, it is possible for us to look upon your smiling face, which is full of affectionate glances. We can now see your transcendental form full of all auspiciousness." So Lord sometimes keep devotees in separation because the union gives more pleasure. So to have union as pleasure, you need to have separation also. This is how Lord performs pastimes. You feel separation, then you feel the pleasure of meeting. Otherwise, if we are not hungry, no matter how many varieties of food is there, we'll not be able to enjoy much. So if I'm fasting till noon and then big feast is there, so I can relish more. If I already taken heavy breakfast and big feast is there, not maja. So of course this is material law, but it is not spiritually. It is not like that. Even in separation also there is ecstasy there. That is the difference. Now what happens is when we compare such examples, we feel that, oh, they also have to go through pain, we also going through pain. They are also suffering, they are also crying. But it is not like ours. This is not material. In both pleasure and pain, both are transcendental only. This is very important, we should understand. In pleasure and pain, both are transcendental only for them. This both they are in ecstasy only. One ecstasy is in crying, one ecstasy is in union, supper, play, meeting. So both are ecstasies. For us, one is pleasure, one is pain. If we want to experience something beyond it, then we need to, that's why Krishna says, you give up. Then when we give up this raga dvesha vimuktestu Vishayan Indriyasya Atma Vishayatma Prasadam Adhikacha. Then we can experience that higher pleasure like that. So the Lord in his eternal personal form can be seen only by the pure devotees. The Lord is never impersonal, but he is the supreme absolute personality of God, possible to be visited by devotional service face to face, which is impossible to done even by the denizens of heavenly planet. Actually, about the Shraddha, I have some more points. Maybe few purports we'll read and I'll come back. I'll see. I want to cover few purports so that some points in the purport also we can discuss, because this is also purports are also very important. But some topics which we will not be able to get opportunity to discuss. So I'm trying to include in this. And I have some more very important points to discuss from Bhagavad Gita also. Maybe I'll see in between some places come. You'll definitely, it will be benefiting us. When Brahmaji and other demigods want to consult Lord Vishnu, the plenary portions of Lord Krishna, they have to wait on the shores of ocean of milk where Lord Vishnu is lying on white land, Svetadip. This ocean of milk and the Svetadip planet are the replica of Vaikuntha Loka within the universe. Neither Brahmaji nor the demigods like Indra can enter into this island of Svetadip, but they can stand on the shore of ocean of milk and transmit their message to the Lord Vishnu, known as Kshirodakshara Vishnu. Therefore, the Lord is rarely seen by them, but the inhabitants of Dwarka, because of their being pure devotees without any tinge of metal contamination of fruitive activities and philosophical speculation, can see him face to face by the grace of the Lord. This is the original state of living entities and can be attained by reviving our natural constitutional state of life, which is discoverable by devotional service only. Yes, I am little. I have to share the notes. I don't make it properly, so I feel little uncomfortable about. I'm just typing here there. I will see. I will try to make it. If I say I will try to make it, takes more time. And by the time our chapter is come, I'll see, Mataji. I will try my best. I was thinking if I copy all these purports in the Word file and below only I can start making the notes. It becomes easy if I get all these. Okay, we have a question. I find this aspect of faith in my practice that few devotees, patients, even though understanding the importance of supplying treatment of natural treatment, but still they have strong faith in surgical interventions and allopathic medicine and accept though these are the only solutions to disease. How to understand such people if they are under the influence of modes of passion or ignorance or due to previous conditionings? If they have some diseases, they are going to allopathy doctors and they have faith in allopathic doctors. It is actually to get Ayurvedic treatment to work on us. We should have faith that we are not the body spirits. Otherwise, Ayurveda don't work. That's why Ayurveda don't work if they don't have this understanding of spiritual for people. Means at least theoretically they should have an understanding. I am not the body spiritual. Otherwise, it won't work. And what happens is whatever works, if it is helping them to take medicine, that's not a for initial treatment they may go for allopathy, but long run if they want to have a good health and all, they have to go for natural way. Means if they have say suddenly they are getting some pain or there is some surgical treatment needed, they can go for it, but after that they need to go for treatment because we don't know how what type of requirement. Like if you see his illness Jayapadak Maharaj, he need transplantation of lungs and kidneys, or so many things are transplanted now. That is cannot be done in Ayurvedic treatment now, but he goes for his treatments because he need to take care of his health because he's delivering so many living entities. So it is not completely wrong. It is not in any we cannot say it is in tamoguna rajoguna. It is basically uh, they they know this is the need and this is the what works, so they are doing it. Anukulyasya sankalpa is our formula. If it is helping me, like now I have some problem with my finger, and instead of going for normally it takes 6 months and now it affects my services. If I go to allopathy, they'll cure me in 1 week and I get cured and then I continue my service. So more important here is not uh, what we are doing. The motivation behind is to please Krishna and able to serve Krishna. That is more important. Hope you understand. Now here, this is one important thing. Why Lord is in Svetadvip? Why Lord is in 4 places in earth? Sorry, in this world, in this universe, four Vaikuntha places are there. And then, and not only that, he also has so many places he stays in this mortal world. Very important to understand because Krishna is what? Akila Rasamatumuti. He tries to enjoy all types of pleasures. You want to enjoy the pleasure of a very big ascetic as Narada and Rishi. Great austerities he performs. So he's experiencing bliss in austerities. I say, what is pleasure? Yeah, because yogis are experiencing, and he is the person who experiences maximum. And as a lord of taking all the worships, he experiences that bliss also. As a servant, also he experiences bliss by serving his. So all types of pleasures that are available, Lord comes and enjoys. So here in the Svetadip, in the material world, he says, okay, if anybody has some problem, come to me. I will take care of it. So he has that pleasure. So maintaining of this universe is by Lord. So Lord is maintaining means any problem comes, you have to go to Lord. He says, I will take care. Come to me. So Lord, this is what is like. Say he can be at one place. This cannot be understood by other religions. They have very big problem. We say many incarnation. They say only one Lord. For us also one Lord only, but our one Lord expands Ekamurti Bahumurtikam because he is Akila Rasamurtimurti. You say that Lord does not know what is the pleasure in performing austerities. Lord does not know how it looks to be a woman. Lord comes as Mohini Murti. So Lord does not know how it is like a like a tortoise is coming. No. Now he is just lying in the ocean and experiencing that pleasure. And so there are different pleasures Lord is experiencing coming in different forms. This is very simple understanding. For others, now they say you have nursing, they also vara, they also everything is Lord only. You say and you say one Lord only. Yes, because he is Rasaraj. He experiences pleasure in doing all the activities. And highest way of experiencing is just being a simple cowherd boy and hunting for gopis in the forests of Vrindavan and stealing butter or stealing the clothes and just playing like that, having fun and being in a natural environment where everybody feels he's also one of them and he is playing with them, joking with them, having fun, and his mother is punishing sometimes. So he experiences that as the most natural way and highest form of experience Krishna gets. That is Vrindavan, and we all want to participate in that Leela.
There is Aishwarya, there is other things also, but this type of Leela where Krishna is in a more natural setting, and that's what gopis feel. One of the reasons why gopis don't go out of Vrindavan is they know that Krishna will be most happy in this setting only, and they are waiting for him. Krishna, you come here and we can give you maximum pleasure, because this setup, being as a king in Dwaraka or being as a big magistrate person in Vaikunta, will not give you so much pleasure. But being in Vrindavan with us, with all this natural mind, with your friends and cows and Govardhan, Yamuna, and forest of Vrindavan and the gopis, you will be most happy, because and they are of the highest quality, like that. So when Krishna is there at different parts in the universe and different forms in the universe and different ways he's relating, it's all his pleasure only. He want to enjoy in different ways. This is the understanding. Why? अरे एक जगह रह सकते ना. Why is coming in? Is there also, here also, and different deities. If you go South India, so many deities, and everybody has different name only, and is doing. Why? Because different reciprocation, different devotees, different rasa. If you go Pandharpur, it is a different rasa. All devotees, this way of worshipping is different. You go to Adikeshwar, the way they worship is different. You go to Jagannath Puri, the way they worship is different. You go to Vrindavan, the way they. So everybody worships in their own style. And Lord is, yeah, yeah, I am ready. You can do whatever you want. I will accept all your services, and I am very happy. So in South, they with awe and reverence. In Jagannath Puri, they put starch clocks also. Lord say, no problem. They beat also. I says, okay, come on. So in Vrindavan, they dance for him, they sing, and they think this our person. And in Dwaraka, so every place the mood of people is different, and the way Lord reciprocate in Guruvayur or in Adikeshwar, the way Lord reciprocates is also different. This is what we need to understand, that uh, we have to see why Lord is appearing like this, because He's the enjoyer. He's Bhoktaram Ekyatakasam Sarvalokameshwaram, like that. So then here is this, O lotus eye Lord, whenever you go, this is an important shloka, whenever you go away to Mathura, Vrindavan or Hastinapur to meet your friends and relatives, every moment of your absence seems like millions of years. O infallible one, at that time our eyes becomes useless as bereft of sun. So what is important is Lord goes to Vrindavan also. So his promise of going to Vrindavan, he fulfilled the promise. He goes back after killing Dantavakra, he goes to Vrindavan and sends all the Vrajavasis to spiritual world. That is in uh, Laghu Bhagavatam. We are all proud of our material senses for making experiments to determine the existence of God. But we forget that our senses are not absolute by themselves. They can only act under certain conditions. A very nice point Prabhupada is telling. We are proud of senses, but our senses can act under certain conditions. For example, our eyes. As long as sunshine is there, our eyes are useful to a certain extent. But in the absence of sunshine, the eyes are useless. Lord Sri Krishna, being the primeval Lord, the supreme truth, is compared to the sun. Without him, all our knowledge is either false or partial. The opposite of the sun is the darkness. And similarly, the opposite of Krishna is Maya or illusion. The devotees of the Lord can see everything in true perspective due to the light disseminated by Lord Krishna. By the grace of Lord, the pure devotees cannot be in the darkness of ignorance. Therefore, it is necessary that we must always be in the sight of Lord Krishna, so that we can see both ourselves and Lord with his different energies. As we cannot see anything in the absence of sun, so also we cannot see anything, including our own selves, without the factual presence of Lord. Without him, all our knowledge is covered by illusion. So, now this is also a very important understanding about senses. There is power in the senses, sensory power we call. Everybody has different powers in their senses. That's why we cannot compete with all the people in all areas. Somebody has their senses in the hands and legs are very powerful. They become athletics and they can make. And they're very fine with that. somebody is very fine with their fingers. They're very good in decorating, painting, dressing, stitching. So everybody has their sensory pulses, and Krishna only gives them. We cannot. We are given some things. No need to compare, and don't compare your children with others. Everybody has. You say this fellow is dancing nicely, singing nicely. The sensory, the ability to sing, the ability to see, the ability to hear, the ability to comprehend, all is Krishna only. And he gives according to our quota. Then what to do? Whatever you have engaged in Krishna service, chant Hare Krishna, be happy. It looks very simple, but why it is not so simple for us is many times is because of false ego. False ego says, how can I be less than somebody else? Why I am not so famous? That is the problem it comes. No, no, no. It is not a question of whether I am perfect or not. It is a question of whether I am able to utilize whatever I have in Krishna's service or not. That is what is counted. It is very, very simple in that way. Now I have some ability. Whether 100% of my ability is used in Krishna service or not, that only matters for us. Hanuman is doing, Squirrel is also doing. For Lord Ram, both are 100% because both are making 100% of their effort. For us also, that only Krishna calculates. He does not calculate how many temples he constructed, how many devotees. Krishna will not calculate like that. Krishna will calculate whether whatever I gave him, did he utilize 100% in my service or not. This is very, very simple. And but application is not good, not easy, because false ego says, how can I be so less? Because we compare with others. We should not compare with the others' achievement. What we should compare is, we should compare with how much endeavor they are putting. We also should need to put that we should be comparing. Compare with the endeavor, compare with the hard work, not with the results. Their results may be different, our results may be different. That's why we can compare ourselves with others in the, he is a politician working very hard. He'll also work hard as a devotee. Like that we can compare. You see how seeing the materialistic working hard, we should also work hard. Like. So, oh master, if you live abroad all the time, then we cannot look at your attractive face, whose smiles vanquishes all our sufferings. How can we exist without your presence? Upon hearing these speeches, the Lord, who is very kind to the citizens and the devotees, entered the city of Dwarka, acknowledged all their greetings by casting his transcendental glance over them. And now I'll just few more points about our topic on faith, Shraddha, because we have completed few purports. So I am confidently going back to our topic. Now there are few more things I will try to add to our Balotpadta Shraddha and Swabhaviki Shraddha. So now what happens is on the path of bhakti, the problem is the mind. Mind want to be independent. Living entity said, Lord, I want to be happy. Lord said, okay, take this mind. Mind is the one who will help you to become happy. And that is actually what happens to all of us. Our mind is the person who always cheats. So with the help of mind only we get all these problems, and of course with the help of and what is Shastra means we have to read again and again the Shastras. Repetition of Shastra, we should not get tired. See, Balaram Shakti same topic he'll take 100 times, he'll not get tired. Because it's Shraddha is Shastra Shraddha, he'll not speak anything. That is what we all need. We all need to go with the Shastras. So when somebody comes and says something and suddenly doubt arises, then uh, then if you don't have Shastra Shraddha, then it becomes very difficult. So if somebody comes and says something, his faith is in pieces. This actually I have seen also. Guruji, he came and told something in the class. I said, so what is the problem? if you want to believe, you believe. Otherwise, you just go with the Shastra. You just say, you ask him what is the reference, where it is told in the Shastras. I have sometime debate with my mother. My mother says, this is like this. I said, oh, very good. Tell me where it is in Shastra. No, this person told in the TV. He is telling in this YouTube channel. She hears some spiritual discourses, and these people they quote, they say here that. I say, he is not pramana for me. You tell me Shastra. so, so those who don't study Shastras are not very serious devotees. They'll always have problems. Yoga says that whose faith is not strong, because they have not fully understood the Shastra, the logic need to be understood. And you may say, Prabhuji, some Matajis, we are not so logical. That is not a problem because Dadami Buddhi Yogatam, intelligence is given by Krishna. We just have to make an endeavor to understand. Krishna gives the logic. And I am sure because I sit with my mother and logically explain something, she understands. Then I know everybody understands that. So of course she understands logic. So if you logically explain, when I tell, see what on what basis we should accept, we can easily understand. So uh, so now what is important is if you hear enough, we understand logic, and listening is a driving force, and especially in the early stages of our devotional service, not simply listening can be improper also. Listening the logic of Shastras, that is very important. I said, Proji, every day I hear 1 hour class, but no, comprehend it. Try to logically. That's why we need to read systematically. This is the way to read. Now, how we are doing Bhagavatam reading of Shna Chakra Thakur are very fast we are going because we'll understand the logic. Because whole chapter, now if I ask you 9th chapter or 2nd chapter, 3rd chapter, we know overall the logic. Okay, what exactly this chapter is telling. That is actually will help us to grow more like that. Now, what happens to a person who has listened for a long enough? So what happens? His listening affects his thinking, and he's trying to understand, and then it becomes part of his life. The Shastras become part of his life because whatever he speaks Shastra only, and whatever he thinks Shastras, and he starts seeing Krishna through Shastra Chakshu. This is what is Krishna. So this is where it starts. The prism through which he sees this world becomes scriptures, nothing more than that. And he does not see a, uh, a he does not just see the trees. He sees the trees in connection with Krishna. So like that. He just does not see the birds. He will see the soul also. I don't know, but so like now we heard many times that Krishna is in the heart of all living entities. But when we start developing the Shastra Chitu, suddenly we'll realize this. Yes, this is there. And this happens now, especially when people that very seriously they are affected by chronic problems and they have very less time to live their body. Suddenly they get these realizations. Roji, this one Mataji, she was telling that I was hearing this but I never understood. But once I got cancer, and now I'm going to go. Some people they get some heavy health crisis for some time and they become all right. But that time when they're in crisis, then they realize that this disease is coming from Krishna. It's Krishna is reminding me that he's in all living entities, and he is trying to make me in a proper attitude. How to see all the living entities like that, and sometimes they hear the lectures but that does not like yesterday I had this realization. Yesterday I gave the class on how pain we have to go and how we see Krishna, and some topic I was taking. At the end of class, one Mataji, she said, Roji, yesterday I was having snan yatra and severe pain in the head, and doctor said something is there in the problem in the brain, and she's telling I had to go through some tests and all, and now I don't know what will be the serious thing. And she said so severe pain I got, and she was telling in the at the end of class, and she did not allow to be recorded. it is in Bhakti Sangha class. We will not get in recording. The end of the class, but she revealed it. And now she's able to see Krishna's hand. She's requesting all devotees. She's feeling the a need for shelter of devotees, and she's requesting all devotees to pray for her. And then I was feeling little embarrassed. I think she's so seriously. I'm just speaking, but for her it is reality. And after that, I didn't take any questions. I said we'll all pray, and that was it. So what I understood is how much it Krishna is, her attitude changed immediately. You know, just that pain she went through, the way she spoke after the end of the class. Of course, it is not recorded. We all should. She should have allowed to record. But the way she sees how she is feeling helpless and how she is requesting devotees to pray for her, it really actually touched the heart. I prayed also. I chanted for her a little bit. So this is very important. Any questions, discussions till now before we go? Okay. Yes, Kalpana Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. When you spoke about this, Mataji, how she has experienced the realization and how it worked magically. And that too happened with my mother also. So it was, we are staying in Sharjah here. My mother was, it was during COVID when my mom was admitted and she was in ICU for more than 1.5 months. Even COVID, no one was allowed to see her. The only communication was to the telephonic communication, not with my mom also that much, with the attendant who were attending her. And they have already declared my mom's lungs was almost, she was already on a chronic lung disease. 40% her lung was working, and in COVID, around 80% was completely gone. She was just surviving with 20% of her lung functions. And what happened is the doctor itself is told if it is more than that, it is going on, you have to put on a ventilator, and there is no chance of surviving. I'm talking about the story, and she survived more than 1.5 years actually after that. And how it all worked is my mom, she had already given up. We are 3 sisters, and she had given up at that time. The one call I got from her, I don't think so I'll be living anymore. You all be united and be happy and pray together and live together. That's what her only, she had already given up at that time. I don't know, I'm not able to tolerate the treatment what they're giving me, and I do not know how long I'll stay. It was in tears. She has spoken to all of them. All my sisters started crying. They give me call. Mama is telling like this, and we are struggling to get her out of ICU, and she's already given her hope. You do something. And, till that time, I didn't tell to any of my devotee circle here because everyone was left, right, center affected with COVID here in Sharjah. So it's after 1 month, I completely broke down in my ladies class. My Siksha Guru was taking the class, Sachi Yashoda Mataji. I couldn't hold because Mataji was asking some questions. I was not able to answer. I was not able to switch on my camera. It was on an emotional peak. I was like, I cannot describe the whole scenario because I want to lose my mom. I'm not able to help anyway through homeopathy because they are in not a state to give any medications, nor they're allowing. And the doctors are very strict not to intervene with anything because at that time it was a Delta variant. It was a very life-death situation. And I just requested the attendant to just give the phone to my mom. We chanted the Narshinga Kavacha and we chanted the Narshinga Mantra. And I said, Amma, you just have to repeat this shloka. You do not have the beads in your hand. I know everything is tied up now. She's completely bedridden. You just mentally you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We will pray. Because any material things cannot be intervened now. We are not allowed to see, not to give any medications. The only thing now it will work with Krishna's plan. You have to accept it. Completely have your faith on the holy name. So she felt she was repeating the mantra. What I told, her voice was completely babbling at that time. Whatever she had, she just repeated 3 times. She chanted the Ugram Viram Mahavishnu. Then she was sincerely chanting the holy name. And next day it was Saturday, and the class, as I broke down completely in the ladies' class, and everyone sincerely chanted for my mom by saying 3 times Hare Krishna wholeheartedly. I could still feel, remember the strength. We had around 18 to 20 Matajis in the class. And evening, such a miracle happened. The doctor said, today's the COVID report is negative. Your mom is out of ICU. Today, after 1.5 months, we are not able to believe your mom is really showing some hope to come out of the danger. Your sisters can come and meet her. And evening, all the devotees, maximum devotees, after the Sandhya Arati, they gave me a call saying that you have chanted for your mother. You have chanted for your mother. It was so heart touching for me. This is the power of association of a devotee, and this is the power of the mantra, and this is the power of the faith in holy name. That all helped, and my mom was out of danger. And she survived for 1.5 years. I couldn't meet her for 1.5 years. After that, I met, and Krishna just gave me days of 21 days with my mom. My mom was actually completely practicing devotional service, who was a complete demigod worshipper, who was complete faith. She has given up when she was completely following all the regulative principles, chanting the holy name, daily reading Bhagavatam, even though we had oxygen support at home till her death. And trust me, Prabhuji, Krishna is so merciful. With physiotherapy, with homeopathy, many things. She recovered and she started walking. Many things happened so miraculously in that 21 days. Exactly after 2 weeks, I attended Ratha Yatra in Chennai, everything. We gave her prasadam, Abhishekam, Charnamrit, everything was prepared. Everything was going. One fine morning, she developed slurred speech, right hand weakness, and her memory was lost. I was like, Amma, eat. Amma, saapudunga, eat. I'm feeding her. She didn't reply. I had gone out for 1.5 hours for some work. My younger sister is telling, Amma, please keep your nasal pranks properly. The oxygen is not good. She's just stuck. Amma, what happened? Do it. And she couldn't understand what happened with Mama. And Mama, slowly, she slept. She slept. She didn't have her afternoon food. And the moment I came, I was feeding her. This is not wrong. She's sleeping more. And she's not reacting properly. Her right side is completely gone. Something the mummy is developing stroke. I immediately called up my senior doctors. I immediately checked with the cardiac surgeon who were giving the medicines. So everyone confirmed she's landing up with a stroke. She has immediately, and it was terribly raining. We gave her homeopathic medications and she recovered her. She was not remembering who I am, nothing. She was just telling my younger sister's name and my niece's name. And finally, what happened? Completely lost her conscious. We hospitalized her. The medicine acted till she got from the ambulance to the hospital. And she told my name. Yes, I remember your Kalpana. And I'm okay, beta. We are all chanting the Nursing Kavacha, the entire ambulance journey. And the entire Chennai was raining terribly on that day. And I, with my younger child, who was 2.5 years old, I'm not allowed to go into ICU. So I told the entire history out of the ICU, out of the casualty ward, because I cannot enter. It was a peak season of COVID and all there in Chennai. So they said, you tell me, doctor, all the histories, and everything was noted. And my brother-in-law went and said, I spoke to him for 1 hour. Complete conscious was recovered, memory had come back. Krishna is so merciful and he is a true well-wisher. That I realized on that day, he wanted to take my mom painlessly. He gave that span. We were sincerely praying I should meet my mom. My mom was also in need. I said, she told everything. She handed over all the documents, responsibilities, everything. Even till the recipe, she has to tell few things. Even if your younger sister gets pregnant, you have to give these recipes. I'm handing over this to you. You take care. This was a word. Entire thing, I still have the notes given by my mom. Now my heart is relieved. This was a word I remember on the 2 weeks after what she gave. I took it very casually. Amma, what you're telling? This is all left with Krishna. No. Why you're so serious? You're recovering. Krishna will give some more months. No, why are you so? No, I am prepared to go. Happily, she told. And I'll tell you, Prabhuji, we were not, actually, she landed with cerebral hemorrhage. I took 1 day to reconcile because she was already 61 years. We have to go for a surgery. Life will be saved or it is really needed. So many things was going on in the mind. We checked with so many doctors and the doctor was about to fly. And you remember, see the beauty of it. All the doctors who were taking care of her all like Vishnu Dutas. Their all names were like Govindas, Venkatesh and Ranganathan. These are all the anesthetist and the cardiac physician. They all took, don't worry, we have a very good success rate. I understood now the success rate is taking her back to Godhead, not to successfully coming out from the disease. It was like we were all successing, helping her to recover. Then I understood. I spoke with my Siksha Guru Ramakrishna Puji. I don't know what is pulling her up. She's still not coming away from the coma after surgery. It's 3 days. It is her desire to come back to this material world or to the Krishna's plan. She's not accepting. I do not know, Prabhuji. Whatever is Krishna's plan, I'm okay with it. Please pray for my mother. Because she has fulfilled her needs. She has completely surrendered to Krishna. I cannot see her in pain now. I could only see on the deathbed, her tears were coming out from the eyes. Very peacefully, with no pain, and she left to go. I am very sure all the rites were performed for her in a Vaishnavic method because she was a very simple-hearted, sattvic person, completely surrendered, never had her own choice of anything till her whole life. Her whole life was spiritual life, children, and a kitchen. This was what I have seen in my mother, Prabhuji. It was a great inspiration and learning for me at that time how Krishna is the only well-wisher and is the only merciful Lord who can do the best of the jivas. I just want to share this, Prabhuji, regarding the faith of the holy name and Shastras and the faith of the Guru and the faith of the devotees and the association of the devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji, for speak on.
Thank you so much, Mataji. My 100 classes are equal to 10 minutes of talk because this is very practical. By hearing this, devotees develop faith on Lord and how, because you sincerely wish and desire that your mother become devotee, and Krishna is reciprocating. So it's such a very heart-touching incident. This is actually what moves devotees. We hear so much philosophy, sometimes become dry. But if we hear incidents, so yesterday evening also that was so touching because she herself is going through and she's telling to the Krishna and pray, and what you went through in your mother's case and how devotees prayed for her and prayers actually works. And I have personally experienced, but somehow every day I don't pray. This is the problem. Thank you very much, Mataji. It is so so touching. Very grateful for sharing such things. So I want devotees to remember what is, because whatever you tell in the last will continue for a whole day. So I don't want to change your mood. You'll be in this prayerful mood. So thank you all very much for your participation, especially Kalpana Mataji for sharing. Hare Krishna.